Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the spin. Got pretty excited about today, honestly. You guys have seen Games Mountain, but now there's Rookie Hill. So we're gonna do that.
Sir.
And only two topics today. So we're gonna take a look at Rookie Hill. Who are those athletes who have not made it to the CrossFit Games yet, who can make it in 2024? And what we're calling the competition commandments. So what is it? What do we think a competition in the off season should include? What should it be structured like? What should it have? What should it not have? To make an off season competition good. So Sabir and Kelly, thanks for joining us. Whitney Davis, I'm sick of listening to TEF. Need some real talk. So let's get this podcast going.
Well, you're one of the few, Whitney. So props to you for sticking through it.
Before we jump onto that, Julian Iford got the ESC headphones based on my recommendation. What I'm going to tell you, though, is this guy right here. So see it all big. ESC, the ESC Mini. I got this in the mail last night, and my dog keeps barking.
It's your dog this time.
It's my dog. Yeah, it's
not mine.
Not John's. This thing is awesome. So in my garage gym, I have a cheap stand-up speaker from Best Buy. It plays loud. The quality's crap. And I got this thing, and it's a small speaker, and I'm not thinking much of it. I plug it in, or charge it up. It's wireless. I turn it on. The tone is amazing. Like, it actually has a little bit of bass for a tiny little speaker that's handheld. It sounds amazing, and only for $100. And I have a 1,200 square foot extra garage I do all my workouts in, and it was perfect. So if you are in the need for a gym speaker or need to replace one, I highly, highly recommend the ESC Sounds Mini. So Vindicate, you're the self-proclaimed experts. We're going to do our best. Alyssa, I need headphones that stay in my ears while running. So we need to look into ESC. Yeah, they have the wrap around your ear. So give those a shot.
Getting off headphones, but kind of similar. Y'all might be surprised as I've been down in some third C lately. Seriously, don't get me wrong. And I know they've got, and I was going to ask you about this. The first one you sent us, the taste is rough. Okay.
Yeah, that was the old formula.
But if you chug that, if you just put it in a little mason jar glass and chug it, it knocks me out. I've been drinking it every single night, and I finally just get it where I'm just going to drink this. I'm just going to chug it, and then I'm going to go to sleep. And it's kind of in a routine now.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to ask you if we get that for free still. Yeah. But yeah.
I'll have to ask Justine and get a refill.
I might need a hookup here soon.
I'm very low on my bag, and we have the old formula, so it has an upgraded magnesium in it now, and it has a better flavor. So she was working really hard on that. We got one of the last batches of the old stuff, so the new stuff is even better. But regardless, you still sleep like a baby. So
yeah,
you do. I've been messing around with my sleep protocol anyway, like different ZMAs and different things. So I kind of want to go back because I remember having good experiences on it. So I need to get some more.
Yeah. So grab a ESC Mini speaker and grab a bag of Thirdsy. Code BBS on Thirdsy for 20% off. All right, John.
Yes, sir.
Rookie Hill. So Games Mountain was pretty good.
Are we going to start at the bottom like we did last time? Not the very bottom, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, we're going to start. We're not going to be at quite to the hill yet.
We're not getting to the hill yet. There's a stage below the hill.
Yep. So here we go.
Question, John.
Yes, sir.
Before you get into it, What was your like criteria? Obviously, they can't have gone to the games. Like, what else did you think about going into this?
So, first stage right here. This is the playground. This is what the equivalent to base camp is. You are not on the hill, and that means I do not think that you are going to make the games in 2024.
Hang on. I got Nick. Imagine paying $50 for what melatonin will do. Melatonin is the worst thing you can be taking.
It jacks you up because then what happens when you stop taking it? You can't go to sleep. It jacks.
I don't have good experience on melatonin.
You stop producing natural melatonin is what happens.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it screws me up when I take melatonin. I don't take it.
So I hear you, Nick. Melatonin will knock you out, but the minute you stop it and you get addicted to it and you stop, you'll not sleep for a long time.
It's like steroids. Like the second you stop taking it, all your muscle goes away. Ask Killer.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's not the same, Nick. All right. Sorry to interrupt.
You're good,
John.
So this is the playground. Okay. This is not Rookie Hill. It's the playground. Rookie Hill is on the other side of the park. All right. This is where the kids are. Okay. So basically, this part of it is either you're graduating to the big kids, meaning you are been running the teen division, and I think we don't know what you are in the grown-up division, but you could be something, you could not be something. I just don't think it's going to happen in 2024. It could happen in the future. Also, it's kids that skipped a couple grades. These people are older than most people, but they're new on the scene. They've been away for a little bit, and now they're back on the scene. And you'll see who I'm talking about whenever we pull them up. They have home run ability. We hadn't heard of it. Like, they haven't made any individual noise until this last year. And I think they could make more noise in 2024. They're more likely to get on the hill. It's just they got to put on some work to do it. But anyway, all these people have potential to get onto the hill, and then the hill itself, Rookie Hill itself, means I think you have a shot to make the games in 2024. Like, if your name is on that hill, I think you seriously have a shot to make it. And like, people would even throw like money on it if you want, like if there were odds, right?
So a little background. Yeah. A little background and context. Of the 80 athletes who qualified for the CrossFit Games this past season, there were technically 10, but really 11 men that made it as a rookie, and 11 women. The one is David Sharonke, who kind of is in 2020, but he would probably argue that was not really the case. So essentially a little more than 25%. I think the year before that, it was around 33%. That's about what we see every year, except for 2019. So you're going to see probably another 10 on the men and 10 on the women next year. And so,
like, if you're on the hill, you should expect these people. I seriously think they're going to make it.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good question. Barkley probably be able to pull it. How many rookies have there been in the games every year of the games? Is it generally around 10 or something, or is it?
I want to say it was like 13 men or women 2 years ago, and like almost like the reverse. Like, it was something like that. It was just above 30% in 2022. So it's pretty consistent. Like, there's always a pretty decent amount of turnover.
Regardless, and we'll get to it. This part of the list is people who are up and coming, but they're not. I don't expect them to make the games. There's kids who have skipped a grade, and then there's kids who are graduating to the big boys and big girls. So let's go ahead and see the names.
All right.
I want to say one thing, which is this
you can do both
version,
columns, Brian, because they're not ordered or anything.
This version of my park in my hometown is now gone, and I'm really upset about it. The amount of times I have this park in my hometown, and the amount of splinters is ridiculous.
The wooden ones are the best playgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
All right, John.
All right. So, I mean, obviously we got the kids, right? You got Ty Jenkins, Trissa Smith, Lucy McGonigal. we have heard these names. They are graduating. We don't know. None of these people are Mal O'Brien. I don't expect them to make super big noise, and you can probably throw Lydia Fish in there too, because she's relatively young as well. But we don't know what they are an individual. They haven't been there. And then, so like we're seeing what they are. They're on the playground because we don't know what they are. But they've been running things in the teen division. Whether they can make noise or not with the elite individuals, we'll see. Hannah Black and Kelsey Keel. These two girls skipped a couple grades. Okay. They're a little bit bigger than everybody else,
very strong.
Yeah. Very strong. Very strong. Kelsey went down the metal slide and it cut her leg open and she had to have surgery and didn't go back to school for a couple of years. And now she's back. So, I would argue that them two and maybe Christina and Morteza have the biggest opportunity to get on the hill. Okay. Morteza and Christina, because of where they live. If you go back and look at Africa's semifinal, other than the first event, Christina was the best one there that was not Michelle. So that's why I think that she's deserves to be on this list, because she was the best woman there other than the first event, which was funky with the air runners and with the sleds. I kind of throw that event out and it kind of screwed her over. Same with Guy, right? We all know Guy is the best guy in South America, but that first event threw him out.
Right. Yep.
Morteza made the games, but he couldn't because of visa issues. Similar to what happened with Roman. Different, but similar. Lydia Fish.
Being from Iran is not a good thing right now.
I don't think it's ever been a good thing. No offense, Iran. Lydia Fish really, really impressed me at Crash. And in a regular scoring system, she win in a regular scoring system?
Barely.
Right. But I'm saying they used the P score, and she got second to Lindsay
by
Lane.
Just barely.
Right. It was like by 1 point. But regardless, and I had no idea who Lydia Fish was before this competition. I'm pretty sure Tyler did. I'm talking about Crash Crucible. And she's not the strongest. But if that girl gets strong, she is dangerous. She is a name that needs to be known if she gets strong. If she's Haley Adams and can't get strong at her current fitness ability, should probably be the same skill level forever. But she is super fit, super capable. She just has to get strong.
It's really scary seeing what she can do, given that she is not so very strong and she's young. And so it's like she can definitely make up those strength gains. But it's just like she didn't seem to have any bottom to her fitness. It was just like she could go. She's probably the one on this list besides Kelsey Keel, I think, has and Lucy McGonigal that have like a real chance of making it to the games. Like that could surprise me. If the right set of workouts come out for Lydia Fish, like no doubt she'll make it.
And that's why I have Kelsey on here too, because if Kelsey could get lucky with the programming, similar to how Hannah Black last year, Hannah Black was on the edge of making the games. Yeah. And I really think the programming just fit well for her. And her and Kelsey Keel are just home run hit central, right? So like they got to get lucky with the programming, but they're there because that possibility is out there.
I'll say Hannah Black, I think she has a bright future ahead of her. I think she's built for the sport. I think she works hard, but I still think she needs a little bit more time. Whereas Lydia is literally just held back by strength at this point. And so
I agree, but I
feel the same way about Ty Jenkins. The jump for men, I think, is farther. And from what I gathered at Crash, it's just like he just needs more time. He's young. He's zealous, and I like his effort, but I think he just needs more time. You got to get bigger, buddy.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, that was the case with Dallin for a little bit, and look what he came out to be.
No, there's
I'm not saying
I think if there's
ahead,
anybody right now that's a teenager, 18, maybe even 19, I think Ty is probably the leading candidate.
Yeah, I think he's the best one. But it's harder to make the jump for men than it is women. in that teen to elite
Yeah.
division, and Ty is not down. You know what I mean? And like
Right.
maybe he can be, but as of right now, he's not.
Colin Garnick.
Yeah,
Who the
this
heck
is a little
this?
bit
Yeah,
of it's a little bit of a homer pick. Okay, he's a brute strength athlete. Okay, but listen, Colin Garnick has gotten better and better every year that he's been training. Okay, he came from nothing. He was nothing to he made semifinals, and then he was basically just a little bit better the year after that. But he went from like within 3 years of doing CrossFit, he made semifinals. That's why he's on the list, because I think if you can do that in 3 years, like your potential is very, very high. And that's why I'm so high on Hatfield, right? Like him similar, but in a different extreme. And a lot of people probably just don't know his name, and I know his name, right? You could insert anybody you want into like him and maybe John Wood's spot, but I just see potential in them. I haven't seen their names very long, and they've gotten to semifinals rather quickly. And that's why they're there, just because the potential for them to improve is something that could happen. It's not like their name has been there forever and this is their skill level and they're not improving, right? If you made semifinals a couple times and you're not improving and you're just kind of, that's how good you are, I didn't look at those people's names. So many names can be here on the playground. Like it's not like in that, like so many. But these were the names that I chose. And I realized like anybody could have a different set of names, but these were the names that I chose based on potential, or if you were dominating the teen division before. Lydia, because she impressed me in the crash. Christina and Morteza, because they can win their country or continent. And then the two guys, just because, and John Wood's not brute strength. I just thought he was very impressive in semifinals and kind of let it go at the end. No, he had a home run hit at the end, but he let it go of the two events prior.
Yeah, he ended up taking 12th in the North America West semifinal. They took 9.
Yeah.
My question here is, Trista, from what I've heard is that she's not putting all her eggs in one basket. She's getting ready to go to college, I believe. Mm-hmm. And so she wants to experience college and all that. Also looking at her, like she seems like she has some development to do. So why do you put her here?
So like with her, like her and Lucy have kind of gone, it's been like a little bit of a battle, right? With her and Lucy. And last time we saw that, it was Mal O'Brien and Emma Carey. And I get that Mal O'Brien and Emma Carey are better, right? They're way better. But it's mostly just because the jump is easier for women. And I think I just think it's easier to make the games at a lower tier. Then that possibility is there versus the men, it's not there. Does that make sense?
I think you're right. But thinking about where she has to come out of, I don't think it's that easy.
Sure, and that's why she's not on the hill.
Yeah, that's fair. I was just pushing back a little bit, investigating, because I don't think you're wrong. But I think we could see a bigger stumble from her. Of everybody on this list, I do think they're going to be like, nipping at the heels. Mm-hmm. My one qualm was with her. I don't know that. Well, I think she might take a fall this year.
You know who was there originally? Was Caden Hogan. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure he still has a year in the teen division, right?
And so does Lucy.
Well, Lucy just ran roughshod on that team. Like, Caden's not Lucy, right? but if Caden Hogan goes through a second set of puberty, people should watch out, because his first set took so long to happen, right? And
is Caden TT? Is Hogan TTT? And then there's TTT. The other one. There's Caden Myers, right? There's 2 Cadens.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Hogan, because Hogan is super fit, just weak. And all he's done, and I mean, he was 5 foot and 100 pounds forever. And he's just now getting into his puberty body. So, he's got a lot of potential. It's just, where does that end? Does that make sense? I don't know. He's not good enough yet at all. but he's very, very fit. He's the type of guy who wins the run and then comes last in the strength piece. But he's not went through puberty, or he hadn't gone through puberty yet. He hasn't been strong. He hadn't gotten his man body. Once he gets that, kind of like Ty Jenkins, so we've talked about this before. If he ends up cleaning 365, it could still win the run event. Can run a 5K in 18 minutes. Then he's dangerous, right?
Lori Winkleman, sketchy talking about puberty on the playground. Hey,
that's true.
We're riding that line real well.
Yeah,
I feel like
I don't think I've said anything.
Anything sketchy's been about Caden, and he's a dude, so it's all good.
I have one question, but we'll hit some comments here real quick. LDY 2742, thanks for the $4.99. I think Trista makes it, just like I thought Vidison would last year at semifinals. So we'll see how good of an analyst LDY is.
We'll see. He has favorites.
Sabir and Kelly, is Taylor on the mountain or in the playground?
He's not in the playground. But
I think there's a special place for Taylor.
We'll see.
A cage.
Lori Winkleman, will Michelle Basnet still be in Africa for 2024?
I haven't heard any talk to the contrary.
As long as the rules,
she will be.
As long as the rules don't change and it's still based off of your citizenship, she can still compete out of Africa. So,
and again, that's why Christina is not on the hill, too, because Michelle Basnet is the best woman in the Africa region, and until she's not, I'm not going to call that she's not. Christina hasn't shown that she could beat her, but she was the second best woman and was very close to her, other than that first event.
Mm-hmm. If you were one of these athletes in the playground, what off-season competitions should these athletes prioritize to gain the most experience for the preparation for the games?
Crash Crucible.
I think I would pick one, and then that's it. I would pick one big competition, and then the rest should be spent training. Okay, like I don't think you should do every competition there is to make money until you're actually good enough to make money.
Every time.
Yeah, like if you make the games and you are 20th place, then you could do all the competitions you want and make money at every competition you go to, right? At Wodapalooza, you'll make something. At if you make Rogue, you got to be like the top 20 to make Rogue. I think if you make Rogue, you're going. We'll just take that away. But Crash Crucible is a great one for semifinals people. I feel like all of these people would be like, that's like a great competition because everybody is your skill level. That's the skill level at Crash Crucible, right? Is the current list we have before us.
Yeah. Crash Wodapalooza's had a lot of big names who have done well at Wodapalooza and then advanced in their career the next year or two.
Yeah. I mean, the fitness experience is a good one for this level. The elite one, it's only like 10 or 12 people, but the elite division is a good one because they're all around this skill level.
I think I can justify. So I did say blurt out Crash Crucible rather quickly, but I can justify it because to me, the programming at Wodapalooza is a little bit more games-esque. It's kind of more wild. And you don't really like the timing's different. And the thing that I think the athletes should be prepping for is semifinals, right? And Crash has a little bit more of that feel where it's a little bit more like semifinals, a lot more stuff in gym. And
it's very semifinals-y. I agree.
Yes. And the loading and the strain is about the same, I think. And so to me, it's definitely Crash. You don't get that at TFX. They have a little bit more gamesy type feel. You're outside a lot more. There's some weird aspects to TFX, and the same thing with Wodapalooza. But I think second best is Wodapalooza.
And I don't really think the question should be like which competition you go to. Crash is a great semifinals-esque competition. I would agree. It's probably the best one for that skill level. But and everybody's different on this. I really think you should pick one really like big competition, like this is what you're doing, and the rest of your time should be spent training because you are not elite yet. You're on the door of elite. Most gyms you walk in, you're the best one there. but you go to the CrossFit Games and you're last place, you are not elite. You know, that's a very select group of people. You're not one of the fittest people in the world. You're just on the door. And you can get there, right? And if you can get there, you're not going to by doing every single competition that invites you.
Yeah. Yep. Before we move and start taking our walk to the hill, if you had to pick out of these 10 athletes, which one has the most likelihood to move up to the hill between now and semifinals? Who would that be?
Well, I'm going to put Morteza and Christina aside because they're kind of our non-North America contingent. I think both of those two could make the games for sure. Right.
Right.
I honestly, it's Kelsey Keel and Hannah Black. It's those two. And just because I think if they get lucky with the programming, they can make it. Like the programming set up so well for Hannah, and she just wasn't fit enough to bring it home. You know, what's another year of fitness if she had that same programming? You know, it might have been a little bit different. And I it is very program contingent. I'm not saying they're the fittest people on this list, but they have the most home run ability that I think if they get lucky with the programming, they can make the games. And those are the only two that I think can, right? I don't think Lydia Fish will until she gets stronger. And I can't say that she's gotten stronger until I actually see it.
And see, that's why I say Lydia Fish, because fitness-wise, she's there. And
I agree with you, but if you take 20th place in the strength event, it's automatically you're out.
I understand that, but I think she's young enough that she can make those gains. And
I can't predict that though.
No. And that's a little bit me of rolling the dice on her. But to me, when I'm looking at everybody here, she's the only one fitness-wise that I'm like, yep. All you have to do is sum up a couple other things and get really lucky on a strength event, and you're there.
Is Ty Jenkins not in the same boat?
No. The dudes are just too far away from him. And
okay,
execution-wise,
he's not the best runner. Like Caden's way better at running than him.
Okay,
he's not going to do well if there was, obviously we're talking about semifinals, but a longer run type workout, he's not going to be there.
Oh, if he's not good at the long workout and he's not good at the strength, then what is there? Yeah, you suck.
No, he's good at the middle. He's good at the mid-range stuff. He's got a lot of skills.
He's good as a teenager.
Right.
That's cool. That's 3 workouts. No, like if what you're saying is true, he doesn't have a shot.
This year, no. I think in 25, that's where you start to talk about.
It's possible. What do you think, Brian?
Who has the best shot?
Mm-hmm.
John Wood.
See, I like John Wood. I just think his division is too competitive.
Well, after we look at the hill, I do want to take a look because I do want to go through the list of at least the big semifinals and take a look at what if some of these people get in. Well, that means some people aren't going to get in.
Yep.
Who are you asking about Wad Zombie? That's what I want to know. Who is Haley Adams?
Lydia Fish.
Lydia? No. Totally different type of athlete.
How so? How so, Tyler?
Haley's way fitter.
I don't think Haley moves as well as Lydia. I think Haley.
He's alone in that, Wad Zombie. I think Haley Adams. I think that's a fair comparison. I think Lydia Fish is better as gymnastics. It looks better, but Haley Adams has far more capacity in gymnastics than Lydia Fish.
Right now, maybe. Or if you're comparing best Haley Adams to right now or what we know of Lydia Fish, maybe. But her potential, because she moves better, is way better. And that's the whole game for Haley.
It's way better than the games?
No. We're talking about just getting in right now. We're not talking about Haley's absolute best.
Okay.
We're talking about what style of athlete she is. And so to me, her ceiling is much higher than Haley's because she moves better.
For this year?
It's Haley's Achilles heel. She moves like shit.
I don't think
not for this year, man. Just lifetime. So when we're talking about her, she's Haley Adams-esque. That's her style. No, that's not at all her style to me.
Do you think that switching to the 40 athlete field this year, a smaller field for the big 3 regions, will have any impact on rookies potentially being able to make it in?
I do, 100%.
Why?
And I mean, we've done this before. There's like 3 people that wouldn't have made it last year to the games if it was 60-40,
Sure.
like how it was. There's like 3 people, but all 3 of those people were like significant contributors to the games. I know Bethany Flores was one, and Yella Hosta was one, and I'm forgetting the other one.
Alex Vigneault.
But okay, but like all 3 of these people can do significant things in the games. None of those people are the, your Africa or Asian people that are going to get last place, right? They're not. No offense, Africa and Asia. I wish you were better. You're just not.
If they just changed the rules like you want, they'd have a shot.
Rebecca Biddison. Thank you, Halpin.
No,
she was like
Biddison
25th.
So yeah.
Like if you're good enough to make the cut, you're significant. I think like you deserve to be there if you're making the cut. If you're not last place, and these people would not have made it, right? And I like that could limit, not a lot, but 2 or 3 rookies. Yeah.
All right, you guys ready to head over to the hill?
Let's do it. All right, now criteria for the hill. I love the little path.
It's the path. The path to the Dickies Arena. You see that?
I really wish. Have you seen that Drake album where he's sitting on top of the tower point in Toronto, where he's sitting on top of the tall building in Toronto?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh man, I gotta show you this picture. I really wish you had me like sitting on the Dickies Arena like that. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the picture. I'm gonna find it and pull it up. But the criteria for Rookie Hill is and it's my personal opinion, I think that these people have a legitimate shot to make the 2024 CrossFit Games. And the higher you are on the mountain, on the hill, the higher you are on the hill. The higher you are on the hill, the higher chance I think you have to make the games. And none of these people have made the games. Like, you can't have made the games. So let's go. First column. All right. These are, I know Tyler's going to love one of these names.
So we got Grace Walton out of Oceania, Seth Stovall out of North America East, Jorge Fernandez, who I believe will be out of North America East. He's now in Cookeville, and Claudia Gluck out of Europe.
So just so everybody knows, no one in this row, because Jorge told me everything I need to know about this row, they're not going to the games.
Okay. So Gracie Walton, she is a bad girl, man. Like, she is coming. And we've heard her name like a little bit here, a little bit there. But what'd she get? Third. She got third and down under to ANUK Greer and Maddie Sturt. But it was a very close race, if I recall right. And like, she has home run ability. She's very, very strong. She's kind of like Kelsey Keel, but in Australia. She's Australian, right? She's not a Kiwi. I want to get that straight.
I believe that's the case.
Okay.
Who cares?
Because I want to get it straight. Everybody gets so mad, so I want to get it straight. I need to start learning. Okay. Listen. If we're gonna make a bigger dent in the global community, however,
we got to know New Zealand versus Australia.
However we're supposed to word it. I can't do it near as good as Pedro, but you know what I'm saying. If we want to make a dent in that, I got to start getting the New Zealand and Australian people right. So I think Grace Walton can make the games. I wanted to put her higher on the hill, but since Oceania is so competitive, Maddie Sturt looked very good.
Right.
It's very hard to put her higher on the hill because of how competitive the Oceania region is. But I almost think if she was in North America, she would make it. Like, that's how I feel about Gracie Walton.
Everything was above a fifth. She even had a second in semifinals. Her worst 2 placements are 9th and then a 27th on workout 6. What the hell happened in
That's the gymnastics one. Those are the seated legless rope climbs.
So is it legless rope climbs that got her?
No, I think you probably just come out too hot and then you blow up. We saw it from Sam Cornway. Sam Cornway should have won, and he got like 10th in that workout because he failed the last rope climb. Like that workout was very, very tricky, very, very execution based. I don't think she's necessarily weak at legless rope climbs, but like she just blew up, for sure blew up.
Bonnie Riddle, Western Australia. So Grace Walton's from Western Australia. She's coming. Her strength trajectory over the last 3 years is wild.
I'm with you, Bonnie. I'm on the Grace Walton train. And like I don't know, like I can't like predict that she'll make the games, but it would not surprise me if she did. And I mean, she's somebody that if she made the games, I don't think she'd be that bad I don't think she'd be that bad. I think she's a serious shot to like, be in the 20s or, the teens to 20s. Seth Stovall, he's a guy I had no idea who he was until Crash. And what's funny is he pulled out of Crash. So like you would think that would hurt.
Really well.
You did. And I'm like, man, why is he so high on this Seth guy? Every single year Seth Stovall has improved, and like he has a lot of skills that's kind of surprise you. Like there was nothing that looked like he couldn't do. And I thought maybe he's weak. He wasn't weak. Maybe he's bad at gymnastics. He wasn't bad at gymnastics, at least the ones that were tested in Crash. There was nothing that he did bad. He just got hurt and pulled out. So like I don't know a lot about him, but he impressed me a lot at Crash. And then that was against people that are going to make the games. So that's why he's here. He's probably the least amount of confidence I have in people on the hill. He'd probably be the first one replaced. Definitely replaced way before Jorge. Yeah. That's how I feel about that.
Mr. Fernandez, new name athlete.
Games champ. How you not going to put a champion on the hill? Right? I think Jorge. What?
What division?
The team division.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, the team. So you think the team division doesn't matter? That doesn't matter that he won. Does it? Okay.
Number one, Rich is gone.
Remember that the team division does not matter when you want to argue Rich Froning versus Matt Fraser, because it doesn't matter. And that's exactly the fact that you think Jorge is nothing is why Matt Fraser is forever greater than Rich Froning. You can't use that freaking team to tell me that Rich Froning's the fittest guy in history. I'm sorry. Jorge's mainly here just to piss Tyler off, but I do think he has a shot.
Will, did you know that Andy Murray was at Dubai? Did you know that?
Did you know that one?
If you didn't, Andy Murray was at the Dubai Fitness Championship. So
he plays tennis, in case anybody wants to know.
Fun fact.
He's American too, right?
I think so.
Or is he British? Or is it maybe I'm thinking Andy Roddick?
I have no idea. I don't watch tennis.
He plays tennis.
I don't watch it.
Claudia Gluck freaking impressed the heck out of me at Dubai. We know Claudia Gluck's name. She's been a semifinals person. But it felt like she beat everybody down by a lot. Then, okay, Melanie, I did not know. I was trying to clarify, okay?
Never going to be a global superstar.
I know. Oh my gosh. Can you find the right wording? Because I want to be able to say it right and I can't do it. Claudia got second in Dubai CrossFit Championship. All of you guys thought, or third. She got third because of
Solberg got second.
Yeah. Andrea Solberg. But all you guys thought she was going to fade. Y'all thought Elisa Fuliano was going to top her, and she just never went away. She had a couple good events in the front, and we thought she was going to fade, and she never did. What Claudia did in Dubai makes me think that she's improved a lot, and I just think she has a serious shot to make the games out of Europe. I think she'll be on the cut line, but I think she has a serious shot to sneak in.
All right, you ready for the next row?
Let's do it.
I think Grace is the best pick of that whole row. I actually think she might be too low.
So I agree, but to stick with my and I told you since Oceania was so competitive, that's why she's where she's at. And to stick with I have a tier system, right? And this next tier are people who have been below, on the wrong side of the cut line multiple times, where they've been really, really good. Everybody thinks they're going to make the games. It's their year to make the games. Me and Brian have predicted them to make the games multiple times. All three of these people. Tyler's predicted Jake Berman to make the games every single year since 2016.
I think he predicted Berman to win the games last year.
I always will. Hopper. So, it's hard. I can't talk bad about these people because they're always there.
Let me do it for you.
These people, ANUK, Jake, and Tyler, they are always in the running. And it just takes 1 year to get lucky to get over the top because their fitness has been there for the last 5 years. And they always find a way. It's like Vellner winning the games. He always finds a way to not do it. And that's like them and getting to the game.
So does Tyler. He's always going to find a way to not be able to make
it. Jake's right there with them, man. And he was way worse than Tyler last year. So
Alyssa's trolling you, I think. And yet they still haven't. That should tell you something.
Right. No. You're absolutely right. But I think they're deserving to be on Rookie Hill because they've been on the hill forever. There's been times where all three of these people have been higher on the hill where we thought the world of them. And then they were just, it's almost like they're scared to get to the top.
I'll say this with ANUK, I think it's her time. And if she doesn't make it this year, I mean, you might have to worry about switching careers at that point. She needs to make it. I don't know. It's just if you don't make it year after year after year, it's okay, you might want to move on. The only story that I have about Jake, I can't remember who told me this, but it was a reliable source, is that Jake was all right, no messing around. This year I'm in full on the way. And it's okay, have you not been full in on the way for the past 4 years? So
listen, Jake Berman has done 100 bar facing burpees in sub 4 minutes, 3:57 or something like that. And do the math on that. It's pretty insane. It's pretty it's so. Gosh, it frustrates me so much. Tyler Christoffel, I think he front squatted 457.
If he just didn't quit on his last lunge, he'd be right there.
If he just didn't quit on his last lunge, yeah. And all three of these people can do amazing things. Their fitness feats that they have done. ANUK Greer has squatted some serious weight. Yeah. Tyler's got to be the one kind of tall hobbit. Then how there's one that's a little bit taller than everybody else. That'll be Tyler. Jake fits right in. ANUK fits right in. I just don't know what to say about these guys. It's just and what's funny is the fitness feats that they have done. They're impressive to anybody, right? I think Matt Fraser can't front squat 457. He might can do those burpees, but I bet he wouldn't want to. I'm pretty sure ANUK Greer can out squat Tia Toomey, but they always find a way.
This is a really good point. This is what I'm talking about. It's if you're Allison Scud's at a point, I think she might have come to terms with she's not going to go to the games. So you make your livelihood as a fitness personality, which is okay. It's just that it's man, year after year after year. I mean, how long has Allison Scud's been around?
Been a while.
Yeah, been a while. I mean, if you go even further back, Tia Wright was close 3 years in a row. Back in 13, 14, 15 or something like that.
Those were different years.
So yeah.
Anyway,
a little bit different.
All three of these guys, it just takes one lucky year to do it, but they haven't shown that they can do it yet. But again, they're always there. The fitness is there. It's just, can you break it over the top? And they haven't yet. And that's why they're on the hill, because they can. They can. All right, next tier.
All
right. These are two people I expect to make the games. All right. They are on the second. They're on the set one from the top because I think these guys will make the games.
I'm Team Pete for sure now.
Right. The way Pete dominated Down Under Championship. Like it was never in question who was the fittest guy there from the event one. And he just didn't seem, and like his whole is strength. And it's not like he's that weak. Like I know he's like a little less than like he would like to be, but it's not 20 more pounds. And then he's like, top, it's just, I think they have all the qualities and they're there. They're games level fit right now. Both of these guys can make the games, and I expect them to make the games. They're games level fit right now. And when they make the games, it would not shock me if they did well at the games.
Well, there's something he's got going. Peter Ellis has got going for him. So I don't know. Have you all read Jake's posts? Jake Douglas's posts about his back? Mm-mm. He keeps giving updates. I'm just wondering how long this is going to, push forward. Because if it starts to push forward to semifinals, like, Jake might not compete. And then that's one less person between Pete and going to the games. And that's Will Kearney. And he was only like 9 points behind Will Kearney.
You got to add Ricky back. That's what makes it tough.
Damn.
I think it's going to be Ricky J and Peter Ellis.
Bailey right outside.
I think Peter Ellis is going to beat everybody else. I think he'll beat Bailey Martin. And I know he's good. He's freaking the 12th fittest guy at the games. I'm telling you right now. I think Peter Ellis is going to make the games this year. And I think he's going to beat Baden Brown. I think he's going to beat Bailey Martin. I think he's going to beat Royce Dunn, whoever you want to put in there. I think this guy, what I saw down under, I think he's coming. And if he doesn't make it because the Oceania region is very tough, I think he will next year. I think he, Victor Hoffer, I expect to make the games. I think we talk about Peter. I think we're going to talk about Peter Ellis in the future, not just making the games, but like actually somebody. Not to win, at least not yet. Not close. But he's super young, and I just think I think he's got a fire that not a lot of people have. Ricky Garrard had that fire, and you see what he's doing. I know he had some, a couple other things in 2017, but we're past that. He did his time. And like, as far as like being able to hurt, there's very few people that can do that like Ricky. And I'm not saying Peter can, but he's on his way. And I don't see that in everybody. And he's a guy that I see that in. All right. This leads us to the top spot on the hill. And this guy, Austin Hatfield. All right. And I know.
Everybody knew this.
I know that was
rabbit farmer.
All right. He was one spot from making the games last year. Did y'all know, and I've said it, you probably, because I've said it a lot, his first competition ever in live competition ever was semifinals. And he was one spot from making the games. Never did a competition ever in his life for CrossFit. And his first one was semifinals. And he was one spot out from making it. And then the second time we see him, he wins Crash Crucible against the guy who is annually, routinely, perennially, this is the word I was looking for, top 20 at the games. Right? Mertens just finished like 24th, 21st, 18th. At the games. We love Colton. Colton's got home run ability all day. Wait, maybe Crash Crucible wasn't programmed good for Colton. Maybe because, the games is like that. He doesn't really get to show off his home run ability a lot at the games, except, he got luckier this year. But in games past, he hasn't been able to show that off. No, the last 4 events, Colton beat everybody by like 3 minutes, and he still beat him. And I remember thinking, Colton should win Crash Crucible because of his domination of the last 4 events. And
he also beat Sprague too.
Yeah, I know. We'll get to spray. But what I'm saying is, in a competition that was built for Colton to win, right? He had 5 events that he, I think, won, right? So like was built for him to win, and only one like running event that like right, just one running event and 5 events that he won. So a competition that Colton Mertens was built to win, which he never gets. Austin Hatfield beat that guy. And like I've never seen anybody beat Colton at something that Colton was competent in. Right. And he didn't, right? Because Colton won those events. But
didn't Colton win like the last 4 events or something?
Last crazy? 4 events in a row.
I think 3.
But you know who was second in like 3 of those? Austin Hatfield was second in 3 of those.
Gave up very few points.
And he beat everybody. Basically, he got ahead of Colton and Justin Madero's him to the end of the line. But what I'm saying is he's bigger than Colton Mertens, but he's kind of got like Colton-like ability. Not as good as Colton does, but like the stuff that Colton's at, he's going to be good at. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Except he can snatch 300 pounds. He can clean 400 pounds. I don't think people understand he's that strong because he wasn't able to show it at Crash. There wasn't the thruster ladder was the strongest thing there. No, but he would be one of the strongest guys in the field in the games. And I don't know how he is with long distance. I'm guessing probably not great. But
he doesn't need that to get to the games.
He doesn't need that to get to the games. That's absolutely right. And
we don't know what the games are going to even look like this year.
We don't. It's going to be more inside, so it might be less running. I doubt it. I feel like they'll find a way. But I just think, like, I expect Austin Hatfield to be top 20 in the games this year. And I know that's like calling it early. I know I'm like a bit early to the party. But Brian Windhorst, do y'all know who that is? Brian Windhorst?
Mm-mm.
He's an NBA reporter. And he used to be a high school reporter. But the very first guy he decided that he was going to report on and watch this guy grow, his name was LeBron James. And he was the go-to guy for all information on LeBron James. And then he turned that into a career. And now he's an NBA reporter making I don't know how much money just because he picked the right guy to follow throughout his journey. I'm not saying Austin Hatfield is LeBron James. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I just think Austin Hatfield is going to be the next top 10 guy. The next guy that can break into the top 10. You know how like we have all the guys that make the top 10. Like it's kind of like a tier of their own. There's the 5 guys we always talk about that are in the running. And then there's like 5 guys that are after that, right? They're tiers. And then there's Travis Mayer after that tier, after the second tier. Austin Hatfield is going to break into that tier. Maybe not this year, but I think in the future he's going to be a top 10 games athlete. And I don't see that from anybody else in this list except for him.
So you heard it here first. John's moving to West Virginia. He's moving down the street from Austin just so we can get everyday reporting of what Hatfield's up to. How many rabbits are they producing?
It helps that he's from West Virginia because, you know, I did have a stint in Eastern Kentucky. I know what that life is like, that hillbilly life.
I think he's from like Beckley. So he's a real.
I mean, I do say that
real deal.
I mean, JR, he called out Hopper a couple of years ago. Hiller is in the chat. John is really going on a limb here, talking about the next champ. So
I'm not going to say he's going to win the CrossFit Games, but I'm just saying I do think he's going to be the next really, really good guy.
So, all right. I put in my stories. I wanted to know who John missed, and they captured quite a few of your list. But Ani Olikai, Chloe Wilson, Harry Lightfoot.
Chloe Wilson is basically Allison Scudds to me. How many times has Chloe Wilson like? I guess I did the same with Tyler Christoffel and Jake Berman, but I just think those two have those 3 people have the ability to hit home runs. And I don't think Chloe Wilson has the ability to hit home runs. I think she's just all around fit, and it's not fit enough.
It's not there.
Chloe's hard. Chloe's tough for me because we shared a coach, and I believe in her coaching staff. But what I saw, I mean, like I don't think she was peaked for Crash to the degree that maybe she should have been or others were. But she's got a long way to go. And I just didn't like what I saw at Crash. So, I mean, maybe she's been so close, and I've been so hype on her for 3 years, but it's getting to that point. It's getting to that Allison Scuds point.
Mm-hmm. Lindsay Lane, she won Crash over Lydia Fish.
Yeah.
Jennifer Muir, she was at Fit Fest. And we're going to take a special break right
Was
here.
she?
Who? You saw her maybe on Friday.
Oh, okay.
This is my favorite comment.
Leahy's trying to sneak around the hill into the venue because he didn't quite read the rules. All right, we're gonna take a quick
actually
little.
A good point is Leahy.
We're gonna pause here.
Who we got? Who's
this?
Austin Hatfield?
Who is that down there? That is Austin Hatfield.
Oh my goodness! I'm so unprepared for this. You can't now. Oh man, you can't let me go on a soliloquy like that and not know that this dude was going to be on the show. I would not talk so good about him.
Yeah, the comparison to LeBron James was a little much.
No,
oh, that's the part that freaked you out.
I strictly said you were not LeBron James. I'm just trying to make a comparison. But
John's trying to say that he's trying to tag his analyst career to you. So,
oh yeah,
no pressure.
Yeah. So
are you
if you don't do something, Austin, then Brian Friend's going to be right again, and we can't have that, man.
No, we can't have that at all.
Are you in Beckley?
Yes, sir.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I don't know if you want to move Beckley, John.
You know where Pikeville's at, Austin?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's where I lived for a couple of years, so I think Beckley's fine.
Dude, so I don't know if you just finished up training. We were chatting a little bit while John was on his soliloquy on the hill. John is a huge proponent, big fan, number one fan, I think, of you after watching you at Crash. How's it feel to be crowned the king of Rookie Hill?
I mean, it's nice. Wasn't expecting that, but no pressure.
Yeah, please don't take it as pressure because Hopper felt the pressure and you saw what happened to him.
Yeah, it's true.
What is are you going to Wadapalooza? Is that right? Did you qualify?
Yeah, I am going to Wadapalooza, yes.
Indy, you're not going on a team?
No, I was gonna do the team with Mertens and Tetlow, but just doing mainly on my part, I didn't know that we had to do that many workouts, and I didn't look at it. And it was like 2 days before the deadline, and I was just not prepared for that.
It's okay. You can say it. There's a height requirement to be under 5'5", and you didn't meet that requirement. It's fine.
No, I'm part of the short people, so I can't say that.
How tall are you, Austin?
I would say 5'6". No, I'd say 5'7".
Okay.
5'7" with shoes?
No, I wear boots, so that makes it about 5'8".
One of the questions we asked and talked about is like when you're in that position where you are, right, you just missed out on the games last year. You have that potential. You're getting better every day. Like on the competition front, like how do you think about this off season as for competing versus just putting your head down and training?
I really didn't start trying to be competitive till about maybe a year and a half ago. I think it was right around after Christmas last year. I was like, okay, I want to try to see if I can, at least make semifinals was the goal. Games was not really like everybody wants to make it to the games. But my main goal was semifinals, and I had never done a program. I would just go in and work out. Like it was just kind of like a hobby for me. And then I joined CrossFit Mayhem's everyday like athlete programming, did that consistently, got better every day doing that, and then just had some success.
That's putting it mildly.
Did you play sports or something before? What'd you do?
I played all sports growing up, really. I'm the youngest of three brothers, so it was just backyard football, basketball in the yard. I played baseball growing up. I played football and soccer in high school. So I was always in sports.
So you weren't serious about training until 11 months ago?
I would say, yeah, about
12 months ago?
Well, I always worked out. I've been doing CrossFit for, I think, 6-7 years. But like you said, I never really put my head down and train. It was just working out. I never trained. So I think it was right around, December of last year. I was like, well, let's see how good we can get.
Were you going to a CrossFit gym in those 6-7 years?
I own my own little garage gym in Beckley, West Virginia.
Okay. I was curious, like, at some point you had to know you were pretty good.
I guess that confidence does come in. I did open workouts in the past and whatnot. I got a couple good scores, and then there were a couple of the workouts that I got really bad scores, and those were the points of weaknesses that I had to improve on. But I mean, I don't know.
Austin, what came very easy and what came very hard as far as training goes? Because I feel like everybody's different on this, and I'm just curious for you.
I would say that the strength part came pretty easily, just because for that time period before I started doing all right, now we're going to start training. I lifted a lot. Like that was the thing that is a lot better than running 5 miles. Like that's doing.
Yeah, I feel you there, man. I feel you there.
I was like, I didn't see his message until after we got done. I got done training today because it was a hour-long Zone 2 workout. Like I would have never done that if I were to just be working out. So the training aspect of that, it was an hour-long workout, and you look at that and you're like, that's not fun at all. But it's the not fun stuff that you have to do.
So are you still on the Mayhem programming then?
Yes.
Or is that okay? Do you have any training partners?
No, I mainly work out by myself, and then I have buddies that come in and they'll sometimes do the workout depending on what it is. If it's really bad, they'll skip out and they'll do something else.
What motivates you? What motivates you when you're training? I mean, because if you've listened to the show at all, maybe you haven't, but it's like I'm a big proponent of training alone, going in. I always call it the dungeon. Like you need to be alone and you like that. You like that aspect of it.
Not necessarily like it. It has to be done. Like I don't have anybody around. Like I live in Beckley, West Virginia.
You should be good at running mountains.
Well, yeah, I do climb mountains and for hunting season and whatnot. So that might be a plus.
But yeah, so when you're alone, like shit, training sessions alone are the worst to me. I like training with people. So what's pushing you when you're doing that? Is it just all internal?
I think
I mean, David Goggins gets me up. Love some David Goggins. Just put your head down and go. Put the work in.
All right, Austin, this is probably the most important question that you're ever going to hear.
How many waffles do you eat every day?
No. Why Mayhem? Because I don't know if you know this, but I have not been the biggest proponent of Mayhem. And my new favorite up-and-coming athlete's a Mayhem athlete. It's really giving me confused feelings. It's okay. I just want to know why.
Don't really know why Mayhem. It was just I needed a program that when I started CrossFit, I would say around 2017, 2018. Rich Froning was the guy. Like that was the guy. Like you watch basketball, it's like LeBron James. That was who you watched, and just watching the videos and whatnot. And then I actually have a buddy that lives in Tennessee, and he trains with Chase Hill, I talked to Chase a little bit, and he kind of put me on Mayhem and was like, hey, they really put in the effort. They really don't overlook the everyday athlete programming. So, I mean, I just kind of got led into that, and it's also not one of the most expensive programs, and I feel like it's good. It's good enough. It seems to be doing good for me.
Do you work with
What's
anybody
Go ahead.
like particular? Like, are you working with one of the Jakes, or are you just literally following the program and just doing your own thing?
I just follow the program and do what's on the everyday site and give it 100% every day.
What's your day look like? Like, are you still working? Like, I know you said you raised rabbits. I think somebody asked you it when we were at Crash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you in your vehicle? Is this like that time that what's his face was live in that strip club parking lot on Semon's podcast? It was Hepner. Hepner went to a strip club and used their Wi-Fi out in the parking lot.
Not because he was at the strip club.
No.
Hepner's a great guy.
Uh-oh.
We still got him.
All right. I had a problem. My truck turned off.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Want to repeat that, Tyler?
Yeah, I was just wondering what your day looks like how many sessions you doing, are you working, like different things like that?
Just really get up in the morning, do my rabbit chores, feed, water, breed rabbits, clean out cages, all that good stuff. Probably takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours in the morning. Just got home, so I'm gonna go do probably about 20-30 minutes now, just water and whatnot, checking everything's okay.
You got milk the rabbits?
Yeah, I got to check on the rabbits. And then throughout the day, like I own a gym here in Beckley, so it's I go in, train for the morning, lunch in the evening, coach classes throughout the day, do some open gym activities, let people come in, work out while I'm working out, and then coach, work out, go home.
Do you sell rabbits?
Oh yeah, big time.
What, do you have an Instagram you want to plug for your rabbits? If not,
I'm already not the best social media guy, so we might have to work on that before I get a rabbit page.
Yeah, Colton Myers has his teeny weenies.
His weenie Instagram, and it has helped him sell that so much. Because he just plugs, the bigger you get, let's say you make the games.
Yeah.
And if you don't, I'm gonna be talking about you all the time. But so the bigger you get, the more people see that. You just plug your rabbit page, you just show you feeding rabbits, and then say at Hatfield Rabbits or whatever you want to call it. And
I'd have to come up with a good name. Yeah.
I'm telling you, it helps your business so much.
Yeah, that would help.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Austin, for jumping on the last minute. I know John was very excited to see you.
It was a surprise. I didn't know. He didn't tell me.
I wanted to surprise you, John.
I don't think I've ever talked that nice about somebody and then immediately saw them.
It's usually the other way around.
Yeah. I try to. Usually, I've talked terrible about somebody, and then that's when they come on.
Yeah.
I guess I just got lucky.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate it. Go on, take care of those rabbits, and get some sleep.
Appreciate it, Austin.
All right, man.
Thanks, Austin.
There you go.
Nice score. That was good.
I was a surprise. I didn't know. Did you know that was coming, Tyler?
No.
I had no idea.
Keeping you guys on your toes.
I should have put somebody else at the top of the hill just to see if just to mess with Brian, just to see if
see who I can find.
Yeah, fast on his toes.
You make a hill. Be careful.
All right, there's now before we leave the hill and talk about our other topic, there is one other place.
I think we're gonna. I'm not gonna be able. I want to give this the topic of competition its own. Like, I think we're running out enough time.
We'll just
we're gonna focus on this.
Yeah,
and then we'll come back to the competition next week.
Okay. So go ahead, Brian.
Are we ready for the next?
Yeah, there's one other thing that I forgot to mention to everybody. Go ahead and pull it up.
Somebody's in timeout corner.
Timeout corner.
Tyler has no idea what's going on.
No, we didn't talk about this.
And that's Taylor Self. Okay, so Taylor Self got put in timeout from recess. I don't know how you found this graphic. Essentially, what this means is Taylor said multiple times that he's not competing in 2024. But the reason why I feel like he has to be here is that I do think Taylor can make the games in 2025. Right? If he would be on the hill if he didn't say if his knee was healthy. But right now he's in timeout. He's going to sit in this chair and next to his cuddly friends over here, and that's where Taylor's at right now. But
I think that's his childhood photo there on the up there in that picture.
I need to. This is only because he's deserving of being on the hill. I do think he'll make the games in 2025, but not 2024. So he's in timeout.
This is so perfect. I need to think about what I did. I feel like he puts himself in timeout about 3 times a day.
Yeah.
How did you find this graphic? That's great.
I've seen that picture somewhere.
Which one?
Him. I know the background is something else, but
it was somewhere out there. It was somewhere out there.
You should have been like, I'm in timeout for tucking or something like that.
Okay. Going back to the fans and who they thought, I left off with Jennifer Muir. Nina Vragovic finished 51st in North America East. I had several people comment on her. Kyra Milligan, Luka Vunjak, and Ashley Wozni.
Ashley's a good one.
I think out of those names, I would say Luka Vunjak is probably the fittest person in that category. I get the Kyra Milligan. I just don't think she's there yet. And again, like, I had decisions to make. So for instance, all of these people could be in the playground, right? Like but as far the hill has 10 people. It's not as big as the mountain. I wanted it to be smaller because it's a hill.
Because it's a hill,
right? When we get to semifinals mound, it's going to be 4 people, okay, or 5 people. It's going to be even smaller, and so those were the names that I picked. All of those names could be on the hill, and maybe they will be in the future. Maybe after Wadapalooza, the hill changes or the mountain changes. Whatever. But yeah.
I have a list as well. Tyler, do you have anybody that you feel is notably absent from the hill?
No, I mean, I think Ashley's a really good one. She has the capacity to go. She won TFX, or she did really well at TFX. I don't know if she won, but she did really well at TFX last year. I think she's there. It's just she's got to get the right thing going. So yeah, I don't have my own list though.
I have a few to keep an eye on. Garrett Clark. So he competed out at Rogue. He was.
He would have been higher if he would have done better at Rogue, but I was just really unconvinced. Now I know his hands. I know he took a cheese grater to his hands. I understand that, but
half the field did too.
Yeah.
Tyler, I'm surprised this isn't on your list. Justin Rhodes.
My boy Justin.
Yeah,
he's been putting in the work too.
He needs about 50 more pounds on his deadlift from here before he gets on the hill. Okay.
Who's that? Justin Rhodes?
Yeah.
I have Caitlin Van Zyl. She was 4th in Oceania last year, missed it out by 1. She was in that.
Caitlin Van Zyl is a good name.
I know if you look at the worldwide rankings now, if Tia and Ellie both go back to Oceania for semifinals, they get 4 spots based on where the worldwide rankings are today. I know
who would your spots be?
Tia, Ellie, probably Grace, and
Maddie.
Caitlin. Caitlin beat Maddie in semifinals this past year. So again, she's probably on the hill, on the lower level of that hill, if you want to consider that.
Mm-hmm.
I
agree.
Jordan Zweck. I can't remember how she pronounces her name.
I think it's Juice.
It's something weird. I can never pronounce it right.
Brian.
She got
I really wanted to say it.
She got 13th in North America East, and then one that probably most people don't have on the radar, but Lexi Neely. So she's 20. She's probably a lot like a Lydia Fish, but she did a lot better in semifinals this past year. So again, I think that's probably a strength thing, is if she can get there and do that. Yes, Lori Winkleman, Caitlin Van Zyl did have hernia surgery. I talked to her before that when she announced that she was not competing at Down Under, and she believes that she'll be back and ready to go by Open, and definitely
those are pretty
by
quick,
May.
Quick things now.
Yeah. Kelly Baker won TFX last year.
Yeah,
she was also you're good.
Yeah, the year you and I were there, John.
Yeah.
Or I guess last year.
So real quick, I'm going to take a look at a couple. So actually, we'll go to North America East, because your boy Hatfield's there. If people are going on to, there are going to be rookies there. Somebody's going to leave. Rather than saying which athletes aren't going to make it, of those who made it last year, who do you think is guaranteed to go back?
The top 6,
Right.
and that's it.
Of the rookies from last
So,
year?
of the top, was it top 12 last year, right?
Like the top 6, James Sprague, that's it.
Just
Noah's going. I know Noah's going team, right? So he's not in there because he's going team.
So like basically, we know Adler will be going to the games. He shows up semifinals, he's going to qualify. Like, which ones are complete locks in your opinion, Tyler, to go? John's saying the top 6 through Will Morad plus Sprague.
Yep.
I don't think Sprague's a lock. I hate to do that to him, but I don't think he's a lock. And the thing that I keep waiting for on Will Morad is he's getting older, and I'm just waiting for there to be a competition where something breaks. So for me, it's the top 5.
And that's it?
Yeah. That is an absolute lock without Noah, without knowing what Noah's going to do. He said he's retired.
I just think Will's just going to be good enough. You know what I mean? Like, I agree with you. With Will.
I think it's like Russian roulette at this point. Like the gun's going to go off, and I've been waiting for it to go off for the past 3 years. Like he already gets hurt all the time, and so that's why I don't say that he's a lock, because if you had to like we just rolled the dice too many times, you know what I mean? And that's the only thing holding me back on him. But like if you take that out, yeah, he's going.
Yeah. On the women's side, the top 11 made it last year.
The top 6.
Top 6 again?
Yep.
I would agree with that.
I would say 7.
That are absolute locks.
Sydney Wells, you would say that you see her there. She will be your game's pick no matter what. Like, doesn't matter what the programming is. Like,
look at who she beat.
Like, I know Shelby, Carolyn, Paige, and Annika.
But like, yeah, you're saying she can't do a ring muscle up. All the people below her are ring muscle uppers.
I believe, was Fia rookie last year?
No, she made it 19.
No, she's
okay. So she made it in the year that didn't count. Other than that, she's a rookie. Shelby's a rookie. Carolyn Stanley's a rookie. Paige Simmons has been there forever, but she's always like 30th place at the games. Annika didn't make it, so she beat 4 rookies.
Do you think Annika's gonna trump Sydney on next year?
I don't know if she'll beat Sydney, but I do think she'll beat some of these game names. I mean, I think 7 through 12, you could mix it however order you want to mix it, and Sydney could just be on the other end. Yeah. But what he's asking is a lock, right? And I think Sydney is with all the girls below her, all the way down to Annika, and that you can flip flop that however you want to flip flop that in whatever order. You know,
like if we look at this list, and if Emma Lawson did not make it to the games, we'd all be shocked. Like we would not be able to believe it. Amanda Barnhart, like you'd be like, what just happened? Right. Like kind of the same thing would happen with Brooke Wells this past year. We would have said she was probably a lock this past year.
Yeah.
Right. But she got
Probably
hurt.
putting Brooke in there. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Brooke's going to be in there.
Right. You got,
But that's
you're
my
probably,
thing, like-
you're probably going to be into this. You're probably going to add Haley into this. Like,
Oh yeah.
this list gets really, really tight.
He keeps putting them in there, don't he, Tyler?
And one of the things that, John, you were kind of
I just keep
concerned
writing
about-
Haley
I
off.
forgot about Haley. I put Haley as a lock. And I put Brooke as a lock.
Yeah, one of the things you were worried about is if we went back to the hill and even the playground, like you had way more guys than women. But you got to think about like Tia comes back, Haley comes back, if Mal comes back.
Knocks all these people out.
If Brooke comes back and she's healthy and back where she was 2 years ago, like there's a lot of women that are going to enter into this field that probably prevent other rookies from having those opportunities. So, let's see. Take a look at, go to Europe.
So lock, I would say the top 6 and then BKG.
Not Bronislaw. You won't say he's a lock anymore, or you won't say he's a lock now.
I didn't say he was locked before. I just said
I'm
think
saying
make it.
after Dubai, you don't think he's a
Dubai
lock.
was the luckiest slate of events Bronislaw could have ever asked for. I don't think
Bill Leahy's a lock.
I don't.
He's
You know
just-
what? And like honestly, Bill probably should be on the playground. That's a name that everybody raves about his potential. I just don't want to put him there until he does it, and
That's all it
done
is potential.
He's never done it. Yeah,
right.
but locks for this region, I would say 1 through 6, and then if Yella Hostem makes it, I don't think it's a given that he makes semifinals.
That's true.
Yeah. So, but if he makes it, I say 1 through 6 and BKG, and that's it.
That's fair.
Fabian Benito should be higher than he is, but since he barely made it last year, it's hard for me. I can't put him as a lock. But that guy, like, he's fit enough to be a lock.
He should be.
He should be. It's just that he wasn't last year, so it's hard for me to. All right,
So
and
the
now
women, Annie won't be there.
I mean, the top 5. No, okay.
Who's
It's tough,
missing?
right?
It's like I don't want to answer this question now without thinking about who's not
Go down
there.
a little bit. Go down a little bit.
I wouldn't say there's anybody that on the European women's side who we expect to be there.
I'm going to say the top 5. Andrea Solberg just beat Manananganese pretty easily.
Bro,
Pretty
this
easily.
European women's field is crazy.
All jacked up, I know. And
John.
yeah, who am I not calling a shot on? Wait, what is this? What is this in reference to? What is that in reference to?
Bill, probably. He's just
Is it
been down there.
about Bill Leahy?
It's probably
Yeah.
he's just been on the Bill harp since we've been on
yep.
the show.
But hey, Bill Leahy is somebody I'm not hitching my wagon to. If you want to hitch your wagon to Bill Leahy, all you and listen, if he makes the games and he wins events because he's got home run ability, then I'm going to be on here and I'm going to say, listen, Andrew Hiller said that Bill Leahy was going to be somebody, and look at him now. Me personally, I'm gonna rock with Hatfield, but you can rock with Bill Leahy, okay?
Yeah, Bill can do it. He just has to get actually.
He's
to
just
the
got to learn how to
competition.
read.
Hiller, did you just turn Irish or something? The fluky horse?
Yeah, I don't know what that means, man.
I think he misspelled a curse word.
Yeah. Family friendly.
I mean, I would say 1 through 5 are locks, but 6 through 17 should make it, which
I know,
doesn't make sense.
like,
Which
looking
does
down,
not
I'm
make
like,
sense.
wow.
But do you understand what I'm trying to say, though? Like that like it doesn't
Any of them
make
could.
sense.
Any of them
Yes.
could.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any of them could. Yeah. So the locks, like definitely probably top 5.
Yes. And I mean Annie won't be there, but top
Yeah.
4.
Let's go back over to North America West.
Africa. You want to do Africa real quick?
There are no. Okay. Are we counting Chandler? Chandler's going team. Is he still going team?
I don't know.
Is that up for debate?
I have no idea.
Let's just act like he'd be an individual. Okay.
I'm going 5. Top 5.
Oh, really? I would say top 8.
Well, so we're gonna lose. They're gonna lose a spot, right?
We don't know.
I mean, if it goes the way it always goes, North America is gonna lose a spot, probably from both.
I would say top 8 are a lock.
Yeah. Top what? 8?
Yeah. Well, because here's the thing.
But they only get
who's going to beat them? The people in
How
top
many
8.
do they
Who's
get?
going to beat them? You think John Wood's going to beat Nick Matthew? I don't. You know what I mean? Like that's what it comes down to. And I think of these guys, I think the top 8 are going to make the games for sure.
Where does Oh yeah, sorry, we're in the West.
This one's funky.
Opportunity for a Jorge joke.
Yeah. What about Cole Greasesaber? Lock?
I think so. Yeah. Cole Greasesaber dominated semifinals, man. And like maybe he's an athlete, like Hopper always does better in semifinals than he does at the game for the most part. I know that one year he got 7th, and that's what we thought he should get. That's where I think his fitness is, but he has only done it for 1 year. But he always does great at semifinals. Cole might be like that. He does better at semifinals than he is at the games. But
Cole
I mean,
needs some swimming.
He made it comfortably, very comfortably. I would say the top 8.
This is where Bill Leahy would be, I think, in the West.
Ooh, tough. We'll see. Although Bill Leahy in that 800 meter, I feel like he might win that 800 meter.
North America West women.
Top 7.
You think Kerstetter's a lock?
Yeah. I do.
Interesting.
I think she's only going to get better.
She spent this whole offseason just training.
Yeah, like she might not ever get to like top 10 capability with the women. But
no, I don't know if a 26 and a 34th is allowable anymore.
I think it is when Abigail Domit and Bailey Rail are the people you're trying to beat because they're going to have the same things. Like you have to think, who is going to beat her? That's how you have to think about it. And I think she's only going to get better. And that doesn't mean she's going to get top 10 potential, but she's only going to get better. And versus people like Domit, Rail, Baker, Spiegel, Wilson. Yeah, I think she's going to extend that gap. I do. So like I would say 1 through 7.
All right, we'll go over to Oceania real quick.
I mean, Emily Rolfe takes a last place in the snatch every year. She still makes it.
All right, the men.
This one.
So it's like 1. Yeah. I'm gonna say
Only
top
1?
2. I have faith in Bailey.
But Ricky's going to be there.
But Ricky will be back. Ricky and Jay.
Damn it.
You forget about Ricky.
And then like, what about Royce? Like, what's the story with Royce?
I don't know what he's doing.
We don't know. Oceania has so many guys that we just don't know who.
Do we know if Royce is going to Wadapalooza to compete in the RX division and just throw the hammer down?
Just murder everybody?
Listen, hot take. I don't think he'd win.
You're crazy.
I just don't.
I guess when you put Ricky in the mix, well, if you put Ricky in the mix, then I'm saying 2 because then it's Ricky and then Jay for sure.
This is when there's only 3 available, and Ricky comes back. This is
do you think this is the hardest division out of all of them?
It will
Absolutely.
be because Bailey was
with
12th
Ricky.
at the games. Yeah,
with Ricky.
Bailey was 12th. Jay's at 7th, and Ricky's top 4.
He's top 3, man. Yeah, like that's
top
so
4
that's
at worst. Yeah,
it's 3rd, 8th, and 12th.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know who
you got to be one of those guys. Yeah. That's rough.
I don't know who was saying it in the comments earlier, but they were like, I wish, they got more spots. If all of their guys competed, like they really would deserve, all their top guys competed, they really would deserve more spots.
But the way that Chase and them did that, they were below a lot of South Americans in their ranking, and that's only on them because that's versus the world. Their world scores were below theirs, so it's not.
The problem is though, it's the top 100, but Oceania is so strong at the top.
Yeah.
Right. Like those three guys, and you add even Jake in there.
Yeah, it should be weighted. It should be weighted.
If you could weight that, right, versus every 1 through 100 is the same. Because I get that. Like if you throw in Guy and you throw in Callian and you throw in Kaike, and I'm sure Augustin is probably pretty solid in the open and quarterfinals too. Like they get that kind of head start over them. But when you put them into the games, the top of Oceania is strong.
So much better. So much better.
I guess you could argue that the DeHaan method kind of takes care of that, but when you just don't have the volume of people, it's just never going to.
It's the same number of votes, right?
Yeah.
Like first,
I would argue the fourth best Oceania guy is better than Guy, who's the best South American by a lot.
Yeah. Overall, I think you're right.
Could be.
I think Jay is the only lock on this list. And like the people in the comments, I'm saying, and Ricky. I think but Ricky's not on here, right? So
he will be. He would be.
Yeah, I think Ricky and Jay are locks. That third spot's up for grabs. I'm sorry, Bailey, but I'm just going to say the third spot's up for grabs.
Well, I think if Peter continues to improve and he beat Bailey, we would not be shocked.
No, that's what I think can happen.
Right? Like, yeah,
that's what I think. It's hard to say like that's going. I'm predicting that to happen, but that's what I think can happen.
Yeah, this could be the most exciting race for
they need
semifinals.
4. Yeah. I think we need to find a way to give them 4. We really, really do.
And then we have Oceania.
I know a way.
Top 3 qualify.
Are we counting Tia?
I'm going to say.
Are we counting Ellie?
I'm saying Tia and Ellie do not go back to Oceania.
Okay.
Did you watch
3 spots?
But Tia's last video was why I'm staying and Shane's going
for now,
or something like that.
For now, but when I interviewed Tia back in a year ago,
she's gonna come back.
When I asked the question of like, if you were going to do this, would you want to stay in North America East or go back to Oceania? It was, I want to compete against the best.
Okay.
That implied that she wanted to stay in North America.
That's still true. If you compete out of Australia, it's like you won't compete against the best going.
If you
but
really
you will
want
once you get there.
If you really want to get Oceania to get more spots, Tia and Ellie need to go back. They will get 4, which means 4 athletes will go again, and you have more chances to get more athletes in the top 100. That could easily turn into 5 the next year.
Right.
If they both stay in North America, they're probably stuck at 3.
And it would be doubly so if we weighted each of the 100 spots. Too.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think if neither Tia or Ellie show up, I'd probably put it at 0 or complete loss.
I'm gonna give Jamie a lock. I'm gonna give her a lock.
I would say she's a high probability. I wouldn't say she's a lock.
I'm locking her up,
okay.
Just like Elliot. That was a joke that went over everybody's head.
I caught it. Tyler?
Man, it's tough. I mean, I would probably say Jamie, but to me, I don't want to say lock. I'm going with 0. It's just too close, dude. She's not that far ahead of Emily, and Grace is making huge strides. There's 3 points between between Grace and Caitlin.
There's 70 points between Grace and Jane, and 30 points.
In all of this, I would still put Jamie to win it. If you had to predict the Oceania right now, I would still say Jamie would win it, but I would not be completely shocked if she did not. So, all right, Rookie Hill.
That was good, John.
Hatfield, Peter Ellis, Victor Hoffer, Tyler Christoffel, ANUK Greer, Jake Berman, Grace Walton, Seth Stovall, Jorge Fernandez, and Claudia Gluck. I think Halpin said it. I think half are Mayhem athletes.
Well,
the other half are training think tank.
Maybe I'm just like posing as a Mayhem hater, and like
Yeah,
in a
you
way,
could-
giving them more attention that way.
He's a sleeper
It
agent.
sure
That's
seems
fine.
like that right now.
It might, see Facundo. I actually love Mayhem.
To hear Austin tell it though, it's like, man, he could have picked anybody. He just
He
wanted
could
to
have
pick
picked
Rich 'cause
anybody. He still could pick anybody.
He still could.
Yeah,
He just doesn't go there.
Yeah, he's, I assume, paying for the programming, just doing whatever. Yes, Gracie is an underdog. But you got Jorge, Tyler, Austin is Mayhem, and you got Jake and Annika. Seth is also Mayhem. So 4, 3.
I thought
So,
Annika
yeah.
was TTT.
Training think tank with Jake,
Yeah.
and then Grace is underdogs. So I don't know. That's the early look.
Yeah.
So we'll come back next week with our thoughts on the competition, and hopefully the rule book will be out. We were told early December, and it's still not out, but we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully that comes out. We'll be ready for it when it does. Any last thoughts, Tyler?
Nope. Good job, John. This was good. I can't believe we got an hour and a half content out of this. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I didn't mean to. I was looking forward to the competition commandments, man. I really, really was.
Next week.
Well, that's good.
Next week.
I'll get to work on it a little bit more, refine it a
show.
little. But
I figure we
think
can
it'll
come
be
to an
good talk
agreement with
about.
all of us, but like, yeah, you can have like, I want this to be a commandment, and I think all of us need to agree on it before we make it a commandment.
Ooh.
You know
I
what I'm
don't,
saying?
I don't see you two agreeing on many things.
Everybody has veto power. This is how a competition should be run. I think we'll agree on a lot of things.
I hope
You know, Tyler, like it's how a competition should run.
Yeah.
It's not about people. It's not about scoring system. That's not, you know what I mean?
I think
Oh, you
Tyler's
didn't think
gonna
I was
throw
going
that
to
in
fit that in the commandments, huh?
It's a commandment,
They're
man.
my commandments.
Like
you get your damn heels. I get my commandments. And P scores going in.
this is something we live by. It's a code.
there. Yeah. out with the 100-point scoring system, and it's only P score from now on.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
guys.
it'll be good.
Thanks for joining us on Rookie Hill. We'll see how good John's predictions are in a few months. So
We'll see.
Until then, we'll see you next week.